Good morning. A warm welcome to all our higher education students today. May 2021 be the year where you will enrich your knowledge as you start your lifelong journey with distance education. I need to congratulate you on your senior certificate results as you have been selected out of thousands of students to study at Unisa. I acknowledge the fact that some of you may be the first person in your family to enter the higher education field. Then please also allow me to welcome the presenters today who worked very hard on their presentations. Ms. Daneel Ludick from Student Administration, Ms. Mosima Tefo from the Computer Micro Labs, who will tell you about our computer labs, Mr. Moses Molapise from the library, Mr. Kagiso Mekoa from Counselling, and Mr. Thabo Modibedi, which will tell you more about tutorials and academic literacy. Then Ms. Lerato Sabia will tell us about what functions we have at ASHWI, that is our disability unit. And from student funding, we have Ms. Maupi Penyenye, and from first year experience, Ms. Ziyanda Febana, and then we are also privileged to have the SRC with us, Ms. Futini Ngenwa. And then last but not least, Dr. Pitsoane, who will cast a vote of thanks. But please allow me just to share the UNISA vision with you. Our vision is the African University shaping futures in the service of humanity. How we are going to do it is to provide comprehensive open distance learning institution that produces excellent scholarship and research, provide quality tuition and foster active community engagement. UNISA is guided by principles of long life learning, student-centeredness, innovation and creativity. And when I say student-centeredness, I know we are in a very difficult time at UNISA, where students do have strikes, but nevertheless, we decided to continue today with the student orientation because we know that you need some information how to start your studies. Gauteng region is the biggest region in UNISA. Our footprint is in Ekurhuleni. We have a service center. We have also a service center in Florida, Joburg. We have a service at the hub in Sunnyside, and we also have a service center in the Vaal. You as a student can approach any of these services or centers to get support. Now, you will know by now that because of COVID, the universities embarked on what we called online teaching. So UNISA said that they are going to have a blended business model. We are going to cater for face-to-face, but also online support. We actually divide our services in two arms. The first is the student administration, where we're going to do applications, registrations, and graduations. And as I indicated, Ms. Ludick will inform you about these procedures. Then we have academic and technology support, and academic and technology support consist of various academic support services. For example, our tutorial program, academic literacies, our specific postgraduate support, our counselling and library support, and our technology support and work integrated learning. But the presenters will give you background on all of these services today. I would like to thank you, and I really wish you a wonderful and a prosperous 2021 where you can excel in your studies, and we will hopefully see you next year this time again. Thank you very much for joining the student orientation. Thank you very much for all the presenters, and I hope and I believe this is will be a very successful activity. Thank you.
That was the Deputy Director. Thanks a lot for that warm welcome, Ms. Nadia. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Have a lovely day.
Thank you. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Monwabisi. I am an admin officer for counselling at the Unisa Johannesburg Resource Centre, and I'll be your co-director for today's program. My colleague couldn't mention the house rules that we have because of technical glitches. So I'm here to actually state them. They are not a lot, but I know if we comply, our program will be a success. First things first, mics are muted already by our technical team, so we're not going to have a problem with that. Number two, we have reserved 5 minutes for questions after each speaker is done presenting. So you will use the Q&A icon on the screen there, just on the top part of your screen, the one with the question mark. Yes, then my colleagues will definitely respond to you. Last but not least, please don't forget to fill in the attendance register and the evaluation forms. The links will be made available to you during the workshop. Guys, these house rules are important. We need to comply for everything to go well. I'd like to thank our DD again. That was a very warm welcome. Now it's time to introduce our first speaker. We have a presenter from Ekurhuleni Regional Service Center. Her name is Mrs. Daneel Ludick. She's a student admin advisor. The floor is yours when you are ready, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning, students and colleagues. I'm here to discuss student administration with you. The Student Admin Department offers a range of services to assist you with the administration of your studies, from printing academic records and timetables to helping you to choose the correct modules and to interpret the rules of your qualification. There's different colleges within UNISA. When communicating with the university, use the email address applicable to you. All postgraduate qualifications fall under the College of Graduate Studies. Master's and doctorate qualifications are dealt with by the M&D department, and all administration is strictly online with that department. By now you have applied, you accepted an offer, and you registered for your modules. When you register, it is important to consult your curriculum and to read your rules. I'll show you where to find these. When you plan your studies, remember you can only register 5 modules per semester or 10 per year. Consider which modules are year modules, as you can only register these in the beginning of the year. Education, for example, has many year modules. In your curriculum, there may be compulsory modules, the ones that you must take, as well as elective modules. These groups where the curriculum and rules indicate that you may choose a certain number of modules. Some qualifications have only compulsory modules. After registering, ensure that you pay the minimum fee before the cutoff date to activate your registration. If you want to change your qualification, remember to apply. Also, if you're finishing a qualification, for instance, a higher certificate, and want to continue to the degree, remember you must apply before you will be able to register. From 2021 or for 2021, there's only one registration period, but there's still 2 semesters. The registration was extended till 26 March, and the final date for minimum payment is the 31st of March. If you paid and your registration was activated and you need to add modules, you do this on myUnisa under My Admin. If your registration is still TP, in other words, not yet activated, then you need to add the modules on the registration platform. But remember, the last registration that you do on this platform is the one that will be activated. It replaces all previous attempts. Many of our students complain that their registration takes long to be processed. Why is this? When you register, you can get some of the following errors. This is indicated on red on the registration platform. You can choose to ignore these errors and to continue with the registration, or to go back and to fix the error. Remember that any error delay the registration, as a registration staff member must manually activate the registration after determining if your module selection is valid. What are these errors? You've got prerequisite and co-requisite. A prerequisite is a module that you must pass before registering the next module. For example, you must pass Business Management 1 before registering Business Management 2. A co-requisite is a module that you must register simultaneously, so together, such as you have to do electronics theory the same time as the practical. Too many modules from a group or a level means that you chose too many modules under an elective group. Your curriculum has different groups, and from that specific group, you only need to register, for example, one module, and you are attempting to register more. You can also get a final year weight not enough error. There is a question when you register where you must indicate if it is your final year, yes or no. If you get this error, it means that you answered wrong. You can only say yes if the modules you're registering is the very last for the qualification. In other words, if you pass these modules, then you have completed the qualification. You should not ignore these errors. Make very sure that if you proceed past an error, that you have a valid reason for this. Let me show you where to find your curriculum. Go to UNISA's website, or at the top link, or at the top, click on the register link. On the next page, you will see these blocks. Click on undergraduate. Then the next one is you click on number 1. Then the page that will open is the page where you see different colleges. You select the one that's applicable to you. If you scroll further down, you will there will be other methods to select the qualification, but we'll stick to this one for now. If we choose the College of Economic and Management Sciences, a page open where all the undergraduate qualifications for the college is listed. Now select your qualification. For example, I use the BCom in Business Management. The rules gives important information on the replacement modules, the major combinations, and how to choose the electives. Here you can see the co-requisite and prerequisites are listed on the right-hand side of the modules. There is an example of an elective group where only one module should be chosen. When you register, you must select how your study material should be delivered. Post means it's posted to you with registered mail, and you get a slip and you collect it from the post office. If you select courier, then you must supply a courier address. The study material will be delivered by the courier to this address. There must be someone to sign for the delivery. There's no extra cost involved. Subsequent tutorial letters are sent by normal post. There was some interest in non-degree registrations. Remember, non-degree modules cannot be transferred to a qualification at a later stage. It is exactly what the word says, not for degree purposes. You cannot build a qualification with NDPs. Why would you register for a non-degree? For personal enrichment, you're interested in some subject, or as a requirement for postgraduate. This will not be your decision if you register for a requirement for postgraduate qualification. If you apply, for instance, for an honours degree, then the College of Graduate Studies will evaluate your application and indicate if you need to register for non-degree purpose modules. Another reason to complete the qualification at another institution. So you only need 1 or 2 modules to complete your degree at University of Pretoria, but you started working and therefore you get permission from the University of Pretoria to do these modules with UNISA. You then must apply for non-degree purposes. And then it's up to your responsibility. Your responsibility as a student. Take responsibility for your studies. Familiarize yourself with UNISA's rules. You'll find these on UNISA's website. It tells you everything you should know. Do your assignments on time and submit before the due date. You submit your assignments on myUnisa. You can apply for a deferment of the exam if you're, for example, sick. You will need to submit proof in the form of a sick letter indicating the date of the exam and that you were too sick to write. You must apply within 10 calendar days from the date of exam. Remember, there is a fee for this and you apply on myUnisa. Now, what is academic exclusion or progression rules? To continue to the next year, you must pass 3 modules per year if it's your very first time you study with UNISA, and thereafter you must pass 4 modules per year. Failing to do so means that you will be phased out and you will have to do a short learning program meeting some requirements before you can apply for readmission. If you have a valid reason for not passing 4 modules, you may appeal with documentary evidence, and the university will take this into consideration and give you another chance. For instance, you were sick and hospitalized for much of the year, or a close relation passed on, and this affected you emotionally to such an extent that you were unable to study. Pay your student account before the due date. If not, you will be financially suspended. You can continue with your studies, but you will not be able to get results, proof of registration, or academic record. You can also apply for a refund if you're lucky enough to have money left in your account, but only if the account was paid by you. You must submit proof that you made the payment. If your employer paid, then you can apply for the money to be paid back to the employer. This is an example of an account. Look at what happens when you are financially suspended. There's an amount credited on your account. I wonder if I can show you this side. So the amount that you owe becomes less, you see here. But not really, because if these modules are reinstated here, then your balance will go back to what it originally was. You see there. So it cancels each other out, and your amount goes back to the original outstanding amount. So if your balance suddenly becomes less, don't think somebody paid for you. The outstanding balance will be corrected once the modules is reinstated, either when you write exam or when you pay your account and request us to do so. If you cancel a module within 10 days from registering it, then you don't pay for that module. But thereafter, there is some cancellation dates that apply. Make sure of these before you cancel. Before a certain date, you will forfeit the minimum payment, and thereafter, you must pay the module in full. If you passed modules at another institution and want to apply for credit exemption, you do this on myUnisa. But at the beginning of the year, you can find the cutoff dates on myUnisa. You need to submit supporting documents, an academic record, a code of conduct, and a syllabus if requested. It will take at least 10 weeks after the cutoff date for the application to be finalized. Also, if you completed a higher certificate and is now busy with your degree, and some modules passed on the higher certificate is indicated as an equivalent to the modules on the degree, so it's the same. Remember, you must also apply for credit exemption. The modules will not automatically reflect on your academic record for the degree, and some of these can even lapse if they were passed too long ago and you never applied for credit exemption. When you communicate with the university via email, remember to always quote your student number in the subject line. Give all the relevant information. We deal with too many students to remember a specific student and what is going on with your studies. If you did not get an answer on your email, it is because of the sheer number of emails we deal with. Sending another email will not result in a faster response, but might just move your email to a later date, because it's sorted to date and it's sorted to the latest one that you've sent. Remember to always send queries from your MyLife email address. UNISA's rules indicate that to adhere to the Protection of Personal Information Act, staff are only allowed to communicate via MyLife emails. You need to book if you want to visit a UNISA campus, and you must complete the higher health check before you will be allowed onto the campus. You can do this online via WhatsApp or via a USSD number. This is also the booking link for booking at the campus. Okay, then important contact details. This is important contact details for UNISA and for Gauteng region. It is better to send your query to one of these emails than to a staff email address. A staff might be on leave or in training or not able to respond for whatever reason. In this way, your email gets directed to an available staff member to assist. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to share with you, and good luck with your studies.
Thank you, Ms. Ludick. Thank you for the useful information. I'm realizing that there's some students who are complaining that they couldn't see the presentation clearly, so would really like to apologize for that. You know, there's just technical issues and technology glitches this morning. So before Ms. Ludick goes, we have a few questions here from students. So we are going to take 2 or 3 questions before we go to our next speaker. And one of the questions that we have here is, how do I cancel a module that I attempted to cancel on myUnisa since January has not been cancelled yet? I have also received no response via my email. Ms. Ludick?
When we receive that email, we will go back to the date that you've cancelled it. So I've shared the contact details. I don't know if you could not see. Is it possible that I can share it again, or will they still not be able to see?
Yes. Yes, you still have 5 minutes, so you can just go through it quickly.
To the presentation again. Just a moment. So these are the. Let me just see. Okay. Sorry. I hope you can see this now. These are the email addresses for our region. So you can send it to one of these email addresses. We do respond. It's maybe a. Oh, sorry. I'm very sorry. It may be not as fast as you would like it, but when we receive that email, we will cancel it. Even if you cancel on myUnisa, a staff member still has to go activate that cancellation, and they will get to it. It's just at this moment, with the closing date of the registration approaching, we have a lot of emails. But you're welcome also to phone this toll-free number. Beyond that, I can just say that we will get to your email. It's unfortunately at the moment, yeah.
All right, we have another question here. This one, the question says, I have cancelled some of my modules for first semester due to the comms that was circulated that we only have 1 year course. What next now if I want to register, if I want to re-register them, will I be charged for that?
My question will first be if you were charged when you cancelled, because if you cancel after that 10 days, you are charged automatically. It's not something that a staff member goes and do. It's a systematic process. So if you're going to re-register them, you will automatically be charged again. So I'm not sure what communication you're talking about, why it was cancelled. I think the best would be is to re-register those and then to inform us that there's a double charge on your account because of the cancellation, so that we can see how we can assist you. Because unfortunately, if you cancelled after the 10 days, it would automatically charge you, and when you re-registered, it will automatically charge you again. That's an automatic process. So we will have to see how we can assist you to get that charge, if allowed, from your account. Because I'm not sure what email or what communication you're talking about that made you to cancel modules. We will have to look at your individual case.
Okay, I'm going to read the last question here for you. It says, could you briefly explain when and how to submit Samingo assignments, please?
What assignments? I'm sorry?
It's written Samingo assignments. I have no idea what it is. Maybe it was a spelling error. Okay, let's take this last one. It says the last one would be, when can I expect to receive study material? I've registered since February and first assignment is due 30 March.
Okay, I don't work with study material at all, so I'm not sure if it has been sent yet. We can check for you on the system, on the study material system, which we also only see when there's a package that has been posted. So your study material is available on myUnisa. Unfortunately, the approach of the university is that since you registered, your study material will be available on myUnisa, and therefore even if you did not receive your hard copy, you still have to submit your assignments on time. So it is available on myUnisa, and your hard copy will just be sort of a backup. But email us, we will check for you on the student dispatch program if it has been sent. Otherwise, we will escalate your query to the dispatch department. Can we go back to that question quickly of Samingo assignments? Is it Samingo?
Okay. All right, I think you might want to answer that one on the chat box. Okay, thank you so much, Ms. Ludick. Students, if you have any questions, please put them on the Q&A chat box. Some questions will be read live, but some questions will be answered. Our colleagues are sitting there and responding to all the questions that are being asked there. So without any waste of time, and before we go to our next speaker, I'm going to request our colleagues to mute their mics, and those that are speaking, please wait until you see where it says live event, and then you can be able to, when it says live, then you can continue to speak. So next up we have Ms. Mosima Tefo. She's the Regional Academic Coordinator. She's responsible for technology enhanced learning at Sunnyside campus. Ms. Tefo, if you are ready, the floor is yours, ma'am.
Thank you and good morning to everybody, the students and the staff. I'll be presenting about computer labs. Okay, good morning, colleagues and students. Welcome to the student orientation. I'll be presenting about Gauteng Region Technology Enhanced Learning. The TEL usually stands, it's an acronym for Technology Enhanced Learning. The purpose of Gauteng TEL is to integrate technology with teaching and learning and using available devices to enhance students' learning experience. The services that are offered under Technology Enhanced Learning. We offer services for students to access to our computer laboratories. Now, when you access the computer laboratories, you'll be able to type and upload your assignments, do research and other technology specialized applications. We also have what we call the video conferencing. This is usually used for tutorial classes, discussion classes, and workshops by facilitators, your lecturers, and tutors across regional centers. The sessions are interactive and live. We also offer training to students, the scheduled training sessions to enhance the students' computer literacy skills. MS Office 365 navigation, inclusive of file management, document conversion, and MS Teams, and all other activities. First, you need to the activation of myUnisa and myLife email account. This will assist students to do it at the computer labs and also online, and to also resolve any myUnisa and myLife queries. We also have community digital access centers. UNISA has partnerships with community centers that give registered students access to a computer and the internet for free for 24 hours per month. Another service is student technical support. We don't only open computer labs for you, we also assist you when you experience technical challenges from Office 365, academic software upgrade, and connectivity queries. Sometimes your module wants you to use a specific software. You can be assisted under the TEL. You need to download that software. We also have services for persons with disabilities. Access to computers with devices and softwares tailor-made for students with disabilities. We have a specialized computer lab which can cater and have all those tailor-made softwares to assist persons with disability. Now, the most important thing, which was also mentioned by the former presenter, is to claim myUnisa. Now, how do you claim myUnisa? You go to the UNISA website. Under the UNISA website, you'll find myUnisa, and then you first go to claim UNISA login as indicated on the slide. And that will take you through the process where you have to include also your student number that you received when you're applying, and also your personal details. Now, and after you've claimed myUnisa, you'll automatically receive myLife email account, which will be activated within 24 hours. Now, we also offer training programs for students. myUnisa orientation, which started from the 15th of March to the 16th of April, online learning from 19 April to 7 May, basic MS Office will be from 10 to 28 May, and basic computer literacy skills will run concurrently from 10 to 28 May. Please don't be puzzled by the 15 March. The reason is that, remember, a registration was extended, so we'll also wait for you to do your bookings. Now, these trainings will be done via Teams, and you need to use the link below to book the training. Now, when you click on this link, you'll get this page which says Gauteng Technology Enhanced Learning. This is a training booking. Now, all those 4 training I've already mentioned will be displayed, and you click the one that you want, and then after clicking it, it will take you to the calendar below, where you'll select your date and your time, and it will also give you a response to your My Life email address. Now, Gauteng Region My website. We also have a regional website on myUnisa, which will assist you with all the regional announcements, the training session recordings that we do. We always upload them there. We also have the training schedule, the one that I just displayed before, and also there's additional support. The additional support that we're talking about is from tutorials to academic literacy and any other new support that may arise. Now, when you click on that link, it will take you to this page where you have to submit your username and the password that will be generated when you claim myUnisa. Now, after that, it will take you to module sites, and on the module site, when you click on the module site, you'll get the Gauteng project site. Inside the Gauteng project site, you'll get pages, technology, virtual orientation, tutorials, etc. Now, where can you access these services? You can access these services both online and on campus. Now, the campuses that we have in Gauteng region are Sunnyside campus, Ekurhuleni, Johannesburg, the Vaal, and Florida. Kindly note that before you can access these services, you also have to adhere by the protocol, COVID-19 protocol, where students must book. And when you book, you use this link on unisa.ac.za/access. Now, when you click on the link, it will open this page below. Now, what you do first, you must first sign up. When you sign up, it will also request you to add your My Life email. After signing up, you create a password. It depends on you. You can still maintain the same password that you have created for myUnisa. Now, when you have done that, after signing up, you need to go to your My Life email to activate the booking system. And then after activating it, you come back to the same page of access, and then you click in Sign In. On Sign In, it will open up and give you different campuses, the very campuses that I've indicated. After selecting a campus, you can select the building that you want to go to. Now, there's direct contact for assistance. Remember, we said we are doing both the face-to-face and the online, but currently, due to the lockdown regulations, because of the COVID pandemic, we are currently using the online. So you can see for Sunnyside, we've got 6 GLAs. There are their email accounts. Alternatively, you can call 012-441-5700 for Sunnyside, 011-6304-550 for Johannesburg. We also have Ekurhuleni number, which is the 011-845-9320. There's also a Florida number for 011-471-2210. And for the Vaal office, you've got 016-455-6300. I repeat, we advise students to use the online booking tool for a one-on-one online meeting with staff, and also before you can access our campus. Thank you.
Now, thank you for that great presentation, Ms. Tefo. It was quite informative. I also learned a couple of things I didn't know about when it comes to technical support. Now we take questions for the next 5 minutes from the micro lab. First question here is from Umandla. He says, is there a technical support desk or web page that we can consult What happened here?
Yes, yes, sir. I've already indicated that you need to first be registered for myUnisa, and then when you go to your module site, you'll get the Gauteng regional page, which you can check all the questions that you need to be answered. And as I said, you also can book your training so that if you're struggling to do whatever activity technologically, you can book your training with our DLAs, which are the digital learning advisors.
That's perfect. Yes, I know you have answered him there. Then we have a Patrick who says the end of the year exams are listed as online exams. Do we write those at an affiliated UNISA facility or do they write them anywhere?
You write them anywhere, but you have to use your laptop or a computer or your any technological device. You don't have a venue where you're going to sit and write on paper.
Okay. Okay, thank you for that, ma'am. Semigo tool. I don't know if maybe you are aware of the Semigo tool, Mr. Tefo, or of what it is.
The what?
The Semigo tool.
Is it the question that was asked to Ms. Ludick?
Yes.
Yes, what I hear that is an online assignment.
Okay.
I think Ms. Changwane can elaborate more on that. Ms. Changwane?
Because I was hoping that someone can answer that one.
With the Samigo tool, normally what happens, the lectures on the myUnisa tab will have a tab which is written online assessment. So what student needs to do, they need to click on that tab, and then after then the lecture will launch that the online assessment for them to complete it. So basically it means you're going to answer those questions online.
Oh, okay. Thank you for that. And I also have ORP here who says, I'm unable to access my life email since February 2021. I wrote to the appropriate department, however, this has not been resolved. So how can we help this person?
Okay.
If they have contacted the department that they needed to email, but they haven't received any responses.
Did you say that my life account is active?
Yeah, she doesn't specify. I don't know if it's a he or a she because it says here RB. He says or she says they're unable to access my life email since Feb 2021. Now, obviously, I'm assuming they had access previously because when he says that since Feb 2021.
Okay, I think you can send the email to one of the DLAs.
Okay.
They will be able to assist the student. Please, they must clearly state their query on the email.
Okay. So if he emails maybe the guys from Sunnyside or Johannesburg, they'll be able to get assistance. Oh,
yes.
Okay. RB. Okay, thank you for that, Mr. Tefo.
Okay.
Yes, we were able to print the screen there, and I'm thinking they were able to capture that information.
Okay.
Thank you for your session, ma'am. It was very informative. You gave us a lot of information. I hope the students were able to take notes on what's important. Thank you, ma'am. Have a fantastic day.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Ma'am. Without wasting time, because we are actually behind now with a couple of minutes. Without wasting more time, let's introduce Mr. Moses Molapise. He's a branch librarian, and he'll be representing the library today. Menir, I hope you'll be able to tell us what you do there and what is it exactly that you can help our students with. The floor is yours, Menir, whenever you're ready. Mr. Molapise.
Good morning, colleagues, and good morning, students.
Thank you. Good morning, sir.
My name is Moses Molapise. I'm based at Sunnyside Library. I'll be presenting the slides representing the Gauteng libraries. So let me begin by welcoming all the students and also again saying good morning to the colleagues. What we do in the library, let me begin by saying that we have UNISA branch libraries. All these branch libraries are being supported by the Makelneck Library, which is based at Pretoria. If you are a UNISA student and you have a student number, you can access all this library regardless of where you are located. As long as if you go to the library, you produce your student number. If you don't have your student card, you can also go with your ID and present your student number to the staff at the branch libraries. They will give you access to the library. What we do in the library, we provide the following library services. First, we provide lending services. Lending services, it actually means that we borrow students' books whenever the students are having, they want a book from the library. We do borrow them books, but it is very important that when the student register, first thing that they have to do, they have to check their tutorial letter 101. The tutorial letter 101 will tell the students if they have a prescribed book or recommended book. Because in some cases, there are modules that they don't have any prescribed books or recommended book. They will indicate to the student that they have to visit the library and search for information that is related to their assignment. They don't give them any specific books. But if you have a specific book prescribed to you or recommended to you, please make sure that you approach the library as soon as possible, because there are many students who will like to borrow that kind of a book. So if you come earlier, you will be fortunate to be able to get that book. So lending services, what we do, we borrow you a book and then we give you a due date. When you are done with the book, you must return the book before the due date. If you still want to use that book, you are allowed to renew that book. Make sure that you call the library or you renew the book online. We also provide training, and then with this training, that is where we show you how to request the book online, because currently the students are not allowed to come to the campus. But that does not mean that the students cannot use the library. The student can access the library via the library website. What we do in training is basically an orientation to how to access the services of the library. We provide training. The student can also check the Unisa Library website for training schedules. There are dates where we provide training, but the individual student can also request their training. If you are not able to attend training based on the schedule, you are also allowed to make your own request, then we can provide training for you. We also do what you call a literature search. Literature search, it simply means that when you have an assignment, you need a specific information. You come to the library, you give us your topic or your research topic, and then what we do, we search information on behalf of you. We also advise the students to consult the subject librarian based at the main campus or the personal librarians that are based at the main campus. In this way, we are able to help the student holistically. We are not limited to provide service only at the branches. You also refer students to main campuses, especially when they need a specific information, because at the main campus, we have dedicated people who deal with specific subjects. So if that particular subject, it is difficult for staff at the branch libraries, we also refer students to the main campus for further support. We also do research support. Research support, we provide training for students to have access to our databases, but also we do basic research skill support, and then we also refer students to the main campus for further support. We also have printing services at our branch libraries. Students can go there and print. They can also make copies there. At the branch libraries, we also have what we call a library commons. At the library commons, the student can have access to our computers, have access to myLife, have access to myUnisa. They can also do their assignment, or they can do anything that is related to their studies. We also have services for students living with disabilities. We are providing a service together with Acalit. Whenever the students living with disabilities come to the library, we also have a dedicated workstation for them. They can use that workstation, and whenever they have any material requirements, we refer them to Acalit, which is a dedicated service department for them. They can approach Acalit for further support. But it is also our responsibility at the branch libraries to refer the students to all the relevant services that are available for them. We have types of collections. We have study collection, prescribed collection, postal collection. These collections are different. For an example, study collection can be any other study material that you may require, but a prescribed collection is a dedicated collection for a specific module. Normally, the other modules, they have a prescribed collection, and what it means students must get that specific prescribed collection. Students must remember that we only provide limited collection. So students are advised always to buy their own prescribed collection. However, they must always ask the library if there's any prescribed collection for their module. Postal collection. These are the books that are located at the main campus. The students must request these books only via online. They have to go to the library website and request this book. What we do for students to be able to access this postal collection, like I said before, we provide training. We train students how to access this postal collection, and then also the study collection. We have also audiovisual collection, which is housed at what we call audiovisual section at the main campus. This will be your DVDs and your CD. They form part of the audiovisual collection. We have also archival collection. Archival collection, these are rare books or books that, or the collection that is limited, and then it's very difficult to replace it if you lose it. So this collection, they put it under archival collection. The students, when they need this type of material, they can go to the main campus at the archival section, and then they can help them there to access that collection. We have what we call the library catalog. This is where we start. This is where we search for all our material in various formats, and that will include printing or electronic. So whenever you want a book or any type of information, you start at the library catalog. And then remember that we provide training on how to use the library catalog. So we'll be inviting students to attend training, and then also the student can also ask for training if they need that training. We have books and other material that we find when we use the library catalog. When we use the library catalog, you will find books, prescribed and recommended books. You can use your course code. You can use the title. You can use the author. We also have the journals, also called periodicals, in print and also in electronic format. We also have what we call online resources. Students can access databases, e-books, e-journal, e-dissertation, and thesis. I want to also repeat myself. This information, for you to be able to get this information, you need training. Please, when we invite you for training, please attend those training. But also, you can also make your own request for training. For an example, databases are specialized information sources. So for you to be able to use them, you need a thorough training. So that is why we're encouraging students to come and attend those training or request their own training. If you want to go to Unisa Library Catalogue, you can go to www.unisa.ac.za, and then when you look at the top, you will see the library homepage. You click on the library homepage, and once you are there, you are at the library homepage. You can read the homepage and check whatever type of information that you want. As you can see, we have what we call about the library services on your right hand side. You can ask the librarian, and you have option to search for library resources. And branch locator, if you want to know which branch is located where, you can go to the branch locator. But you can also ask us questions under frequently asked questions. And then you also have what you call contact library. We have also mobile libraries that you can also visit across the Unisa branches. This is a screen for the library catalog when you search for a book. There are different type of search options. On this one, I've only shown the title search options, but you can also use different types of search options like your title, your author, your keyword, your subject, your course code modules. So this you will know once we provide training for you. Like I said, we have library commons. You can come to the library, and then you can also have access to myUnisa, My Life, or you can have access to all study-related activities using the library commons. You have the library catalog, My Life, myUnisa. You can do your assignments. You have access to internet for academic purposes, and then this is where the printing is also located. Printing might not be located in library commons at other branch libraries, but we do provide printing services for the students. Here are our contact details. So this is Sunnyside branch contacts. You can also have contacts for Johannesburg branch contacts. You can also have Ekurhuleni. But remember, you can also go and check the branch locator where you can check other branch libraries. For an example, we also have branches at Limpopo, we have branches at Midlands, we have branches at Durban, and so on. Although this is orientation based for students who are based at Gauteng, but I also have to remind students that they can also have access to UNISA branches across South Africa, wherever they are located. Let me take this opportunity to thank the program directors and also the students who have attended this orientation. If they have any other questions, they can ask me questions, but the students are advised to visit the library as soon as they get their library, their study material. They can check tutorial letter 101 and make sure that they visit the library and ask for an assistance. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Molapise, for that useful information. We have a question here. The question says, where is Johannesburg Library located?
I've just here are the contact details for Johannesburg branch contact, Johannesburg, 2936 Street, Johannesburg. So if they can go to 2936 Street, they will be able to locate Johannesburg branch. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much.
They can also call the numbers there to ask for directions.
Gloria,
Yes, Ms. Mabowa.
I just want to thank you for giving me this opportunity. I just want to correct the address for Johannesburg Library. We are no longer at 29 Resik Street, but we are at 120 Fox Street at Gandhi Square.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Mabowa. I'm going to request that our colleagues help in answering some of the questions that are on the Q&A so that students can get the correct information. So colleagues, please help us in addressing those questions. The questions are flooding in, and unfortunately, we will not be able to read all of them here. And to the students, if you see information that is being shared and is useful, please screen grab or screenshot, especially the contact details, so that you will be able to know where to get assistance. And to our speakers, please, when you get to the part where you are sharing your contact details, please just pause it a little bit so that the students get a chance to take the information down or to screenshot and screen grab the information. Before we forget, there is an evaluation form, which is also published on the Q&A. Please make sure that you complete the evaluation form because it's going to help us to improve our services going further. And if we are not able to answer your questions here on the Q&A, please don't think that we are not going to respond to you. We are going to refer your questions because some of these questions, they might not relate to information that is being shared today. So just bear with us. We will make sure that we refer your questions to the relevant departments. Another thing also which came up a lot as the speakers were talking is the issue of the booking app. It's very important, student, that you download that booking app and that you complete the health check as well when you visit any UNISA branch. Very, very, very important. We've been having issues with students who are calling and saying they're at the gate and they're being refused to enter because they did not complete the booking app and the check health, the checklist. It's a check health from Department of Health. So without any waste of time, I'm going to move over to our next speaker, Mr. Mekoa. Mr. Kagiso Mekoa, he's a student counselor at Florida campus. Mr. Mekoa, the floor is yours, sir.
Thank you so much, Ms. Program Director and the colleagues. I just want to also thank and welcome our students on board for the orientation session that we are having for 2021. Most of the information has also been shared by my colleagues in terms of the contacts and other questions that you might be having for student counseling has already been shared. So I'll try by all means to save time that we can also allow for more questions to be answered or asked by our students. So as it is indicated that I'm Mr. Kagiso Mekoa, the student counselor at the Florida campus under Johannesburg on the Gauteng region. So my name is Kagiso Mekoa, and then I also have other colleagues that I'm working with. So who we are, we're the service provided by counselors and the counseling manager in the region, and all are registered as psychologists and registered counselors. So we have 3 psychologists and 2 registered counselors in the region. So the service that we are providing is a professional and also confidential service to all our students. And student counseling service is available in all of our 5 centers in the Gauteng region. Number 1 is Ekurhuleni campus, which is in Davidton. We also have the Florida campus, which is in Johannesburg, Roodepoort. And we have the Johannesburg campus, which is in the CBD. We have also Sunnyside campus, which is in Pretoria. And we have Vaal campus, which is Van der Bijl Park. And the service is also offered in other regions. The same student counseling service, you can also find it in other regions, like your Northeastern region, which caters for Mpumalanga and Limpopo, your KZN region, your Midlands, your Western Cape, your Eastern Cape, and all other regions. So please make sure that you utilize the service that we are offering you, and then the service is also offered for free. What are the services that we are offering? We are offering counseling in different modes and different formats. It could be career counseling, it could be relational, it could be any other issue that you might have. We are assisting with A to Z issues. What I just also need to make clear to you is that we are not a medical center. We would not be able to issue you with a sick note after using our services, because some people previously want to use counseling to avoid attending to other issues. Sometimes not to avoid, but these legitimate issues. But unfortunately, we cannot offer you a medical certificate after receiving our services, so that you don't go to work or you don't go to write your exams. You need to get a medical certificate for such. In our target area, we are also looking at registered students, which are students who are already applied and registered at UNISA. Prospective students are students who want to study with UNISA, but they have not yet applied or have not registered with UNISA. It could be high school students, it could be anyone in the community, it could be anyone from any other institution. So we don't stop you receiving the service because you're not from UNISA. Anyone can receive our service. And then we're also focusing on our exit level students, which are students who are about to graduate, who are leaving the university, who are looking for jobs, who are looking for employment, or who are also going to be entrepreneurs. We're also looking at communities, that those can be schools or organizations. We do outreaches to schools, to organizations, to companies where we are invited, or to community events where we also assist in terms of our services. And the service that we are offering there, we're offering career guidance. Basically, we're doing career choice because you need to know that the career or the qualification that you want to do is in line with what you want to do or where you want to go. Even now, students in attendance of this orientation, you find that you registered for a wrong qualification. It's not taking you to where you are supposed to go. So that's why we're asking you, please visit our student counseling offices in person or online. So please feel free to come and see us. We will be able to assist you and sit down with you to get to where you are going and be able to guide you how to get there. We also offer personal counseling, which can range from different issues or different difficulties that students are going through. It doesn't matter what the issue it might be. Please come talk to us. We are there to listen and to also assist you. We also offer academic support counseling in terms of students struggling to pass qualifications. Unfortunately, we cannot help you. We cannot make you to pass the modules, but we can give you the tips on how to get to that. And then also, we also offer socio-economic programs and study support. I saw one of the questions coming before our presentation that some students are struggling because they are working and they need to juggle between work and study or relationship and family. So we also give you some tips and also workshops on time management, study skills, stress management, and goal setting, and many other workshops that you can be able to run for you. So if you have any other issue, please approach us or any one of our counselors and we'll be able to see what the issue is and also assist you. And some of the events that we are running in the student counseling service is the HTS, which is health services campaigns, like your HIV testing campaigns, your health awareness campaigns, your stress management, women's and men's health issues. So we also focus on those things. So we are please requesting that contact us and we see how we can guide you. And we also have a program we call Student Mentorship Program, which I will elaborate on the next slide about the Student Mentorship Program. So this program is a program where senior students help new students to adjust to UNISA. Remember that you have not been here before. Someone has been in this journey before you, and they've walked down the mile and have experience on what to do and what not to do and the mistakes that they've done. So we have senior students who are willing to mentor you and to guide you. Unfortunately, those people are not tutors. They are students just like you. It's someone who has completed a degree, maybe they are on their third level or they are doing their honors level qualification, but they've passed the modules that you are doing. They can be able to assist you. So student mentors, we select students from different qualifications. For example, in a faculty of law, someone who's doing a Bachelor of Law or LLB can be able to assist a student who's doing first year or second year with the modules that they are registered with. So on how to get hold of our student mentors, On the evaluation form, when we are completed with this session, it asks you if you need to be mentored. If you answered yes, you would need to provide us with your student number that we can link you with a student mentor wherever you are. There are student mentors in all our 5 centers, then they can be able to assist you. And a student who has done and completed a qualification is better positioned to help those who are doing the same qualification and modules that he or she passed. So if I passed accounting FAC 3701 or I passed accounting 1501, which is on your first year, I am able to guide you to say, this is how I did it, this is where the difficulty was, and this is how I was able to get around it. And we also have different service modes. We are available telephonically, we are available on emails, we are available on Teams platform, on Google Meet, we are available on social media, we are available on online sessions and also on Zoom. I know there's a frustration from our students. I saw on our Q&A session that most of you are frustrated that telephones or emails are not being answered. We understand that we have a too much influx of calls coming through, especially in student counseling. When we are busy with another student or offering a service, unfortunately, we cannot take calls in the middle of a session with another student. So we can only return your call or attend to you later. So the safest mode is the email platform where we can be able to get back to you. So at the end, towards the end of my presentation, I'll also be sharing contact details, as Ms. Adisa was emphasizing that we'd need to pause a little bit there so that you can be able to do a screen grab or screen print so that you can get our contact details. So we are available on Google Meet, we are available on online sessions. Some of our programs, our workshops, we run them on Teams platforms, and we are inviting you to join in when possible. We understand that you are working or you are having challenges also with connectivity. Load shedding is also a factor that is also affecting our service delivery. Please bear with us. These are the times that we are living in, and we are trying by all means to deliver a service to you. And then we also have stakeholders that we are working with. These are internal and external stakeholders. Our number one stakeholder is you, the student, and also the student leadership. We also have UNISA colleges. These are our faculties. In other universities, they will say faculties. We call them colleges. So there might also be a confusion with that word. So when we say you are in the College of Education or College of Economic and Management or College of Law, it's simply meaning also is also a faculty. So we also have external institutions that we are working with, your public universities and private institutions. We also have communities and organizations. Sometimes we don't have all the services that you are requiring from us. Then we are able to refer you to other organizations, or other organizations can refer you to us. Then we'll be able to assist you. And then here I attached our contact detail brochure for student counseling for different campuses in Gauteng. So this you can also find on the UNISA website. When you visit the website, it will tell you that in Florida we have Mr. Kagiso Mekoa there and Ms. Gloria Adisa and Ms. Lebo Khaswani. In Ekurhuleni we have Mr. Makahani and Ms. Nyamakazi. In Johannesburg we have Ms. Mabua and Mr. May. We have Ms. Dipali and Ms. Makue in Val. In Sunnyside we have Dr. Pitsoane and Ms. Lala, and then they can be able to assist you going forward. So on the next slide, please make sure to be ready to take down the contact details, not only of student counseling, but also of other units that have presented and other units who's also going to present after me. So if you have any queries, drop us an email. At least now you know that you're contacting someone with a name, not just someone in UNISA that you don't know. So you have our email address, you also have our telephone lines that you're contacting us on, that you can be able to assist you. This might not be so clearly visible to you, but I'm saying that should you contact us also after this event, you are able to share these contact details. The first column going down is for the computer lab services in the whole region. For Gauteng group, like contact details for all the centers. This is for the computer centers that we are having. I saw you talking about myUnisa and other myLife contact details that you are struggling to go into myUnisa. These are some of the people that you can contact who will be able to assist you wherever they are and wherever you are based. And the column on the right is about the library services that Mr. Molapise was talking about. You can see there we're having Sunnyside, we have Ekurhuleni also appearing there. And then these are the contact details that you can contact for people to be able to assist you to get the service that you are requiring. Mr. Molapise also touched on the issue of you borrowing the books from the library. Wherever you are, you can go to the website, request for books, and the books are delivered to you, and you need to bring them back to any of our library centers in Gauteng region. And then now this page also, we also continuing for the other contact details of our facilitation of learning there. On the column on the left, we have Ms. Kumbi, we have Kutie, we have Moshoesho, we have other colleagues there that you can contact for tutorial services and for other issues that you might be in need of. And the column on the right is for counseling services, where you can be able to contact us for all the 5 centers. Number 1 is the Sunnyside campus, Ekurhuleni, Florida, Johannesburg, and also Vaal campuses. So make sure that you take down the details and you'll be able to get assistance from us. And then with that said, I just want to thank you, colleagues and students, for being able to attend this session. And then I also want to wish you all the best. It's not an easy thing to study at UNISA, but we want to be here to support you. We want to be here to hear you out and to guide you on what to do and how to go about that. So I just want to take this opportunity to say thank you to all of you, and we are waiting to hear from you. Counseling services is not only for people with big problems, it's for any student. Sometimes some people make a mistake that they only contact us towards the end of their qualification or towards the end of the year, and we might have been able to assist you from the beginning of the year. And then had you come to us earlier, you would have avoided or prevented yourself so many challenges unnecessary. Thank you so much, colleagues.
No, thank you, Mr. Mekoa. That was a great presentation. You gave us quite insightful information, and it's highly appreciated, my good sir. Our students, I've noticed that there is an influx of questions, especially towards our library services. What we're gonna do is we're gonna forward all of them to our librarian who presented earlier, who will be able to give you guys, to give all our students the responses that they need. So do not despair, all the questions will be answered, like my colleague Gloria stated earlier. Now we'll be taking 2 to 3 questions for counseling. Let me see here if we have any questions for counseling. Still library. All the library questions are going to be forwarded to the representatives from library services. They'll be able to respond to you. It might not be now while we're busy with the program. It might be a bit later, but you are going to get responses definitely. Let me see anything for counseling. Nothing for counseling. Nah, I also can't see any questions for counseling. Mr. Mekoa, thank you for a great presentation, sir. Have a lovely day. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We'll be expecting emails and communication from students to be able to assist them. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Now our next presenter is Mr. Thabo Modibedi. He is from Tutorial Services and Academic Literacy. He will also educate us on what is it that they do and how our students can access them. Mr. Modibedi, are you ready for us, sir?
Yes, sir, I'm ready.
Perfect. The floor is yours, Mynheer.
Okay, colleagues, good morning. Students, good morning. My name is Thabo Modibedi. I'm a tutorial officer based in the Vaal Regional Center. Today, I'm going to present to you about the tutorial services and Acalit, academic literacy services. Okay. At UNISA, we've got various academic support programs, but for today, I'll present to you about the online synchronous tutorial support, academic literacy, and work integrated learning. Now, under tutorial support, what is a tutorial class? It's being referred as a very interactive session with the tutor who will lead and guide you as a student through the study material. And then the tutor will also guide you on the content and to assist you to understand the challenges regarding your study units. So just in a nutshell, tutors are not expected to spoon feed the students, because the students, they are the ones that are expected to bring problematic areas into their session so that the tutors can actually assist them in those areas. And then who are the tutors? They are the professional people who have got extensive knowledge of the content of the module they facilitate. And usually the university source those tutors from the public and private institutions, because they are also the professional people. And the aim of this service, tutorials are offered with the aim of supporting students throughout their studies and to improve the throughput rate of the university, and also to make learning experience easy and exciting as well. Okay. So just something I want. Okay, how to join the tutorials. First of all, we've got the link on, in fact, the address. Firstly, you'll have to visit myUnisa homepage, and the student is also allowed to register a maximum of 4 study units as per high-risk modules, because not all modules are, are offered for tutorial classes. So there is what we call HRM, high-risk module. So before the student registers, first you'll have to check on that list if the module you are intending to register, if it is available. If it's available, then you can also visit myUnisa homepage and then enter your log in with your myUnisa credentials and register. Later on in the slides, I'll also take you through those steps. And the service is free. And for 2021 academic year, tutorials will be offered via Microsoft Teams because of the global pandemic. And then these sessions, they are recorded, and the recordings will be shared with the students that have attended. Now, steps on how to join. Number 1, you log into myUnisa with your myUnisa credentials. Then you click on My Admin. You also click on Student Admin drop-down list, and you'll have to select the module that you are intending to enroll, and you also click step number 4, click on Enroll next to the module code you are intending to attend the class for, and you must also select the center, because the system will make various centers available, and if you want to attend center like the class at the VAL, of course, VAL will also be available in the list. And then to register, since I've said initially that the maximum of study units that you can register, it's 4. Then for all 4, then it means this is the process that you'll have to repeat that I've just mentioned. Okay, how to access the tutorial schedule. Step number 1, also visit myUnisa homepage and click on Student Support and Region. Step number 3, you click on Gauteng region if you want to, given that this is a virtual orientation for Gauteng regions. But just in case if you move to other regions, then you can also do the same. And on step number 3, if, for example, it will be Limpopo, of course, you'll also click Limpopo. And then step number 4, you click on tutorial schedule. And the last step, you'll click on the name of the center, for example, the VAL, if you want to be linked with the VAL Regional Center. And then the link will also be shared on my live email address, or yes, it will be shared there. So it will come, well, in a form of an invitation. Academic literacy. This is the second academic support program that I'll share with you. And then here, this is a program where the facilitator guides the student on basic and general content as per their field of study. Students are assisted to improve academic writing and how to engage their studies. So the idea here, the students are not expected to come with the tutorial letter and ask facilitators or even the tutors, to assist them how to do the assignments. The facilitator or the tutor can only assist you how to understand certain concepts here. And then the purpose of this program is to equip the students with necessary academic skills to become independent. So that's the whole idea. Academic literacy, it focuses more on the skill so that you have the skill to be independent as a student. And the other purpose again is to enable students with the ability to understand academic language used in their specific college or even the study unit. The last one, to equip students with the theoretical knowledge for preparation for the labor market. Now, what we offer in academic literacy is online workshop and consultations. Workshop schedules are available on myUnisa. As I've said previously, the link or the invitation is sent to students via myLife on their myLife email address. And then the program caters both for undergraduate and for postgraduate students. For example, undergraduate, things like essay structure, visual literacy, paragraphs, sentences, etc. So those are the things that are covered, because in your modules, like for an example, you'll also be expected to submit some portfolios. And if the skill is not there, you may have information, but the challenge will be how will you convey that information so that the reader will understand your work. So that's where now academic literacy comes in. And then the other one is a quantitative literacy. Here we are dealing with quantitative information. And then the facilitator will also assist you how to understand the quantitative information, to learn and also to interpret the quantitative information. And the postgraduate, this caters for masters and doctoral for proposal, research proposal writing, research methodology, research instruments, sample and sample size. And I will also advise even the honor students, because I actually became aware even under honors and also under some undergraduate module, there is actually a research component. So this kind of a service, that's where it will be extremely helpful. Workshops are offered as scheduled by staff members and facilitators. Remember, earlier on I've said the schedule is available on myUnisa. So the schedule, it will actually detail the date, and on that specific date, what topic will be covered. And students may book with the facilitator for one-on-one consultation. So you also have got that option as well of booking. And then facilitators are also available in weekdays and on Saturdays as well. Now, the last one, which is work integrated learning. What is work integrated learning? That's where now the student observes and experiences what is happening in the work environment under the guidance of the mentor. Now, still on this, the definition of the working integrated learning. So in a nutshell, this wheel of work integrated learning, that's where it assists the students, to integrate their academic and academic and work related activities. So usually modules or study units that have got the will component, they are in the on your diplomas. That's why you don't sit for exam, like you go on a workplace environment and you do it practically, and then at the end of the day, that's when now you'll be expected to report back in the form of a portfolio. If you can check again before I move to the next slide, that's where these things they're interlinked now, because if you go to a workplace environment, you are the one who's only there and taking notes and then take information that you have to take, and then after that you'll be expected to report now. That's where now academic literacy comes in. That's where your skill, your academic writing skill will have to be polished so that you can actually convey the message to the reader, so that at the end of the day, then you score a good mark. What is the purpose of the program? It is aimed at equipping students with practical skills and educational activities that integrated learning of a discipline with its practical application. Okay, this one I've already covered it. And then element of a diploma, the degree that is recognized through the assessment. As I've said earlier on, that on a qualification, although not all qualification, there will be 1 or 2 modules that will expect the students to spend a number of hours at the workplace, and the student will also be expected to report. Usually in some disciplines it will be 12 months, some 18 months, depending on the discipline. And then workplace students, placement, the students are responsible for their own placements. The centers will offer workshops on how to compile your portfolio. Let me just clarify this one. Centers are not going to compile student portfolios for the students. There will be assistance on where to focus on. And then you'll also be issued with placement letters. Now, UNISA has got the range of support services, and I would like to urge you to make use of those support services, because at the end of the day, you want to be a UNISA graduate. For an example, you've got your study guides, your tutorial letters, and then I'm not going to go through them because other presenters have already shared with them. And then some are still going to, you've got your videos that are coming together with your study material, your year planner, and your prescribed textbooks that is available on your tutorial letters 101. You've got the counseling services, you've got your lecturers whom you can contact as well, your academic literacy workshops that are available, the library services, tutorial services, myUnisa, myLife. So these are the support services that are available to you as a UNISA student. So make use of them to your benefit. And then I've got the contact details for our Sunnyside campus colleagues. And then the first one is Miss Tefo, right up until there, down there by to Miss L. Mashiani. And then their names, they're on the first column. In the middle column, they're their contact numbers. And then on the last column is their email address, personal email addresses. This is only for staff members that are based in Sunnyside campus. And then for Ekurhuleni Regional Service Center, we've got 2 staff members, and then and their contact details as well. And then in the VAL, also 2 staff members, and as well as their contact details as well. We've got the Johannesburg Regional Service Center, also as well as their staff members linked to the Johannesburg Regional Service Center, and their contact details, as well the telephone numbers and the email address. At the Science Campus, which is based in Florida, As you can see on your screen, that these are their names and the contact details as well. And I want to say this contact details, this information is also available on the UNISA website under Gauteng region. And if you want to see the contact details of staff contact details for each regional service center. Now, if there is any question, I'm not sure if there's any question on your side.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Modibedi, for the presentation. We do have some questions here. One of the questions that we have here is from Tujo. He says, or she says, I have been struggling with getting access to my group that I'm allocated on for my SCL 1505 module. Will I get access soon, or is there any possible way that I'm not aware of?
Okay, so just say the question again.
Okay, the student says, I have been struggling with getting access to my group that I'm allocated on for SCL 1505 module. Will I get access soon, or is there any possible way that I'm not aware of?
Okay, this is an e-tutor query. And can I just ask the student to send me an email, because there will be relevant staff that will assist that question. With regard to, yes. I think also Ms. Tefo, if I'm not mistaken, she can assist with that.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Modibedi. Colleagues, I'm going to request, because we are getting concerns from students that they are not able to see some of the contacts that have been shared to the presenters that presented earlier. If you can just go to the chat box in the Q&A, if you can just share the contact information that you've been sharing in your presentation, that will be highly appreciated. The students are saying that they are struggling to see the contacts that are shared in your presentations. Mr. Modibedi, I'm hoping that you will answer some of the questions in the Q&A section while we move to our next speaker. But before we go to our next speaker, I just want to stress out to the student that please complete the evaluation form. The evaluation form is available on the Q&A chat box. It's very important that you complete it, because it's going to assist us to improve our services going forth. And one of the speakers said, it is your responsibility as a student to, to take responsibility of your studies. I think it was Ms. Daneel Ludick. And she said, and I'd like to stress that out, that these services are available to you. Make use of them. Mr. Modibedi has already said it, that make use of these services that are available for you. Students, attend trainings, attend workshops. That's the only way you're going to know what is going on and how to approach some of the difficult questions that you are having around your studies. So without any waste of time, I'm going to introduce our next speaker. Our next speaker is from the unit called ACSWIT. It's a unit that helps students who are living with disability. And our representative from there is Ms. Lerato Sibia. Ms. Sibia, if you are here, you can go ahead, ma'am.
Yes, colleagues, Ms. Sibia is having load shedding, so I will present. Can you just confirm if the presentation has been projected?
Yes, Mr. Matjila, it's presented.
Okay. Thank you. My name is Tonny Matjila, and I'm based in Sunnyside Regional Hub. I am a regional academic coordinator working with Ms. Pressman and Ms. Sibia. So this presentation is about reasonable accommodation that are available in UNISA for students with disabilities. Now, this reasonable accommodation are informed by the legislature and policies. And in UNISA, we have policy for students with disabilities, communication and language, as well as diversity. So these are the policies that guide us on how to make provision of student support services in order for them to be inclusive and integrated. But also they help us to create an enabling environment so that you as a student living with disabilities may excel academically and also may participate fully in the academic project. Now, from your side, it is important for you to disclose your disability or impairment. Well, you also have a right not to disclose, but if you disclose, we will be able to know the challenges that you face and ways on how to support you. And this will eliminate frustration and time on your side and also on our side. And you may ask yourself, how should I disclose? So when you register, there will be a question that will pop up to ask you to disclose your disability. And if you have done that during the registration, well, no problems. But if you didn't do that and you want to disclose, you can go on myUnisa and update it on your personal details, or alternatively go to registration or fill the special assistant form, which I'll talk about it later on. Now, the focus area of support. We have a disability unit that is in main campus, but then the services are decentralized to all the regional services centers. When coming to funding, I won't talk much about funding. The colleague after me will go deep into funding, but I just want to highlight that when you have disclosed, you are eligible to apply and get a bursary from Department of Labor. And this is a bursary that can assist you to purchase assistive device. Assistive device, I mean, some students will need devices to convert a text to audio or other device, any device that can assist you to excel academically. The reasonable accommodation in computer labs and library were addressed by Ms. Tefo and Mr. Molapise. Thank you very much, colleagues. And after you register, you can also tell us on the special assistant form, the format that you prefer your study material to be delivered to you. So it can be braille, electronic, or audio, or anything. And when coming to assignment also, you also have a preference of doing them orally, and exams, you can also request extra time or any support that you would like requesting a scribbler or requesting to do an exam in another alternative format. But then remember, this you can do only if you have disclosed. When coming to those with hearing impairments, I indicated that we are guided by communication and language policy, and the South African Sign Language is also included. We have sign language interpreter, and I know in Gauteng region we have 2 colleagues that are very fluent in South African Sign Language, so you will be assisted in that regard. And if we have shortcomings, we can always contact our disability at main campus to intervene. Now, about our disability unit, it has an acronym ACSUIT, which means Advocacy and Resource Center for Students with Disabilities, and it is located at the main campus. But then every regional service center have reasonable accommodation to support you as student with disabilities. Now, I mentioned the special assistant form. So as soon as you have filled it, you need to check with ACSUIT whether they have received it, and also ensure if your regional service center is aware of the challenges that you are facing so that we can assist you. In her welcoming address, the Deputy Director indicated our regional footprint that we have centers in Sunnyside, Florida, and Johannesburg, Ekurhuleni, and Vaal. So those are our centers. And the contact details, every colleague has been sharing them, but then let me emphasize for those for Oxford. So we have Mr. Moodley. So anything related to a program that you want to use, I know students who have who are blind or have low vision, they use certain programs to convert text to audio. So Mr. Moodley can help you. I believe the slides will be shared to you, or you can also take a screenshot. And then we have Mr. Nguna. Mr. Nguna is the academic support officer. So what he does is sometimes you will require your material in alternative format like audio. So what Mr. Nguna does is, if you have a prescribed book that is in text, it is his duty to go to the publishers and inquire on your behalf to get that prescribed book in the format that we have requested. Same applies to tutorial letters and study guides. And we have Ms. Guguzikali. If you want to be oriented in the campus, this is the person that can assist you to show you the campus and how to go about it. And we have Ms. Mabaso, who is our sign language interpreter. We also have Ms. Motsepe, who deals with Braille. And we have Brasai, Mr. Netichuni, who also is involved in Braille production and proofreading. And the person that you will deal mostly with is Ms. Ndlovu. She's in Sunnyside. So all the registration and bursary inquiries, this is the person that can assist you. Now, these ones are the details of the regional staff members. And again, I must say, we in Gauteng, we also have a regional Facebook page. So if you are on Facebook, kindly go to Gauteng, UNISA Gauteng region. You can like the page and you will get updates of all the events and activities that are happening in the campus. And this is the end of the presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Matjila. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you for that informative session. Our students truly appreciate your hard work. Now, before we even continue, to my colleagues at Counselling, tell me, with this evaluation forms, because I see here on the Q&A that most students saying they are not able to see these evaluation form links. Where are you guys sending it? Ziksha, Khomoto?
Hi, Monwabisi.
Yes, ma'am.
We are sending it on the Q&A.
Or on the Q&A?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. No, I just needed to confirm. Thank you, ma'am.
All right.
Okay, thank you. Let us continue. First things first, let us take questions for ARC Suite. Any questions for students with disabilities? Nothing here. Let's see. Once. Okay. Because earlier I had a student who wanted to know if we had a representative who would talk about such, and I did inform them that yes, one of our colleagues was gonna come through, as you just did, Mr. Matjila. I hope the information that you shared with them was enough, because I don't see any question here. Any question for ARC Suite students?
Sorry, Mr. May, there was a question earlier. I think maybe, there's so many questions on the chat box. There's a question here that I picked up. It says, greetings, may you kindly advise me on how are you accommodating disabled students to attend the tutorial classes? I'm referring to the total blind and deaf students. Maybe Mr. Matjila can assist with that one.
Thank you,
yes.
sir.
Yes, first of all, the student need to inform us about the center he or she is in, and I think our tutorial team will take it from there in trying to accommodate them. Thank you.
Thank you for that, Dr. Matjila. Glo, any questions? Any more? Because Diksha just forwarded me the same question that you just posed. This is the same person that I responded to and told them that we're going to have a representative from ARC Suite.
Okay. No, that was the only question that I saw on my side.
So it seems like it's the only one at the moment.
Yes.
Okay. No, let us continue then. Let's get our next representative. Our next speaker is from student funding, Ms. Maupi Penyenye. She's a student funding officer. Ms. Maupi Penyenye, are you ready for us, ma'am? Because I can actually see your video.
Good morning, colleagues. Good morning, staff. Thank you, Program Director. My name is Maupi Penyenye from Student Funding. I'm basically going to take you through what student funding does, what's their functions, as well as the funding that's been administered within the funding department. The student funding, we do administer different type of funding coming from the government institution as well as the private companies. The biggest funding that we do administer is the NSFAS funding. How do we apply for NSFAS? Firstly, the applications that are done online on NSFAS website, www.nefsas.org.za. Applications that are open around September yearly for the following year intake. For example, they will open this year 2021 around September for 2022 intake. Students are advised to apply on the website directly rather than going to the NYDA offices to do their manual applications. The reason for that is easier to track the application online, and then you can even see if there is still outstanding documents that the student needs to submit. Rather than a manual application, it's not easy to follow it up. The first step when you do the NSFAS application is to create a NSFAS profile. And then while creating that NSFAS profile, you'll be required to attach a certified copy of the ID. After creating the profile, you'll even receive the SMS to confirm that your profile has been successfully created. Then you have to log on your profile and fill up the application form and attach the supporting documents as well. Students from 2020, they don't need to sign NBA anymore. Instead, NSFAS will do the linking of their registration data. That replaces the process that we do when they were signing the NBAs. Documents which are required when you need to apply for NSFAS. Please note all the documents need to be certified, and then you need to save them as soft copies before you start the application process. It will be the applicant ID copies of parents, proof of income, and then NSFAS do cater for the NSFAS for students with disabilities. But please note, if you are a student with a disability, you need to download a consent form as well as the annexure disability A and B. That annexure, basically the student complete with the doctor to confirm the nature of the disability. That form as well assists the department when it comes to the type of assistive device the student will require to complete to make their life easier while they're studying through UNISA. Please note, if you don't indicate that you are disabled, you don't even include the annexure A, you won't be considered as a disabled student. You'll just be assessed as a normal student. What does NSFAS cover at UNISA? They cover the study fees. When I say study fees, it's just study fees including registration. Prescribed books is calculated as 600 per module with a maximum of 5,002. What does this supposed to mean? First semester, I register for 3 modules. I will get 1,800. It will be 3 times the 600. But the moment a student registered 5 modules or more, they will be allocated the 5,200 for the year at once. So it basically means now I'm registered for 6, maybe I registered first semester for the whole year, 3, it will be 6. We are just going to allocate you the 5,002 for the year. Meanwhile, if I've registered 3 modules first semester, I'll get 1,008. If second semester I come back again, I register the other 3. They will top up the difference still to the maximum of 5,002. They get a subsistence allowance, which is paid over 10 months. The amount is 2,900 a month, 2,900 per annum, and then it's payable with 290 per month over 10 months. But please note that subsistence allowance, to qualify for it, student needs to be registered for 10 modules for the year. If I've got 9 modules, unfortunately, I don't qualify for the living allowance. If I register 5 modules first semester, I come second semester and I add another 5 modules, it will be 10. So automatically my 2,900, I will qualify for it. But the difference is, instead of getting it paid from February 290 over to October, because my 10th modules were only registered for in second semester, I'll start to receive my living allowance from second semester, but they will backdate the payment from February. Please note, NSFAS does not cover any meals, any accommodation, any travel allowance whatsoever, because UNISA is a distance learning. There are courses that are not covered by NSFAS at all. Postgraduate qualifications, I'm talking about your honors, your masters, your PhDs, your postgraduate diplomas, those are not funded. Any NDP modules, not covered. And from 2021, the F10s who are doing the higher certificates, they won't be funded. The only higher certificate students will be funded is those ones who have already been in the system, already started with the higher certificate, maybe in 2020, then 2021, they're just finishing off their higher certificates. But if ever I'm a new student, I'm starting 2021, I'm admitted for higher certificate, please note, NSFAS does not pay for higher certificate in 2021 for the new students. Returning students, if in 2020 you were funded by NSFAS, that makes that student a returning NSFAS student. Please note that the institution currently, we received part of the list, but it was not a complete list as like now for the returning students. We have submitted the 2020 academic results to NSFAS, and then we are currently waiting for the funder to provide the institution with the final list for the students. And what did NSFAS check for the returning students, meaning for those students that were funded previous year for NSFAS? They will check if ever the student have passed the modules, 50% of their modules. They will check the N+2, meaning how long has the student been studying. They will also check if the whole household have not changed. Please note that registration are finalized strictly based on the approved list from NSFAS. And registration will not be finalized, will be finalized accordingly once the lists are received. Other undergraduate funding that we've got a Department of Social Development. You apply directly with the social development offices. Application opens normally around September yearly. And then after you are approved for social development, the list will be sent to UNISA so that those students can be registered. Please note, it's only for social work students. We've got the Funza Lushaka. It's for those students who are doing teaching, the Bachelor of Education or the PGCE. You apply online on Funza Lushaka website. It's opening yearly around October for the following year. If you applied for Funza, for example, for 2021, we always advise the student to pay in their registration fees because the outcomes for Funza is normally available after the closing date of the registrations. So for the student to secure the registration for that particular year is advisable so that they register themselves, and once Funza approves them, that's when we can be able to refund the money back that they paid out of their own pockets. Postgraduate bursaries. We've got the honors bursaries. We've got the masters and doctorate bursaries. Those two are UNISA funds, which basically mean is the funds that are being reserved for from UNISA's budget to cater for the bursaries along those honors and masters and doctoral. Application for those two bursaries are currently open, closing 31st of March, and you apply online on myUnisa. When you log there, you can just enter your number. You'll be able to apply for the bursary. You attach all the supporting documents as well online when you do the application. And then after your application has been assessed, you'll be notified if you are approved and not approved. We've got NRF bursaries. Also, that one is for postgraduate studies, but you apply directly with NRF. Application only comes to UNISA once they are approved, and then the budget is allocated to the student. While I'm still there, please note the closing date of all these bursaries are 30 March 2021. And I forgot to mention another one under the undergraduate bursaries. We've got the merit bursary. It's also open as well and is closing on the 31st of March as well. But please note, for the merit bursary, they will check your performance. You need to have an average of 75%. And then you must be on your second year or third year of your studies, because we will need to check your UNISA performance. So automatically, if you are a first year, unfortunately, you cannot apply for that merit bursary because we cannot assess you based on your matric results. We need your UNISA results. We've got IntelliMali system that we use. Is the system that is being used to distribute the funds for allowances. IntelliMali cards that are collected at the funds guide bookstores, and then with those IntelliMali cards, you will receive your money for the book allowances. The book allowances is that one that is being calculated at 600 per module to the maximum of 5,200. Updating of banking details at times will be required when a student qualifies for the refund. The refund is only for those students who paid money out of their own pockets. Like, for example, when I was saying it's advisable for Funza to pay their own fees for registration while they're waiting for the outcomes. Those students will be fully into the bracket of the refund students that needs to be updating their banking details on IntelliMali website. Remember, once you'll get an SMS to do so, to update once you qualify and the refund is processed. For resetting of the PINs as well as faulty cards, please, the student should contact IntelliMali directly. And I've got the contact number for IntelliMali. The telephone number is 087-2300-171, or they can email them on info@intellimali.co.za. For student funding inquiries, I've got the email address there is dsf-nefsas@unisa.ac.za. You can email any query that's related to student funding to that email address, and then your email will be attended to. And then can I just say a plea to all the new students that applied for NEFSAS for the first time in 2020 for 2021. Please keep on checking your statuses so that you can see if you are approved or not approved, or if you are supposed to submit outstanding documents. You will need to check your status on your NEFSAS profile that you created when you did your application. I thank you. I don't know if I've got any questions.
Thank you, Ms. Maupi. Yes, definitely there are questions. The first question that we have here is from Anonymous, and they're saying, I was previously funded by NEFSAS at the VUT, but due to lack of info action, I didn't know that you have to reapply every year, so I couldn't, which led me not to having funds to continue. So I dropped out. Now I have been admitted at UNISA. Will NSFAS fund me again?
Okay, if ever for example, I've been studying at VUT, for example, now I want to switch over to UNISA. The only thing that you're going to look into, were you funded by NEFSAS at VUT?
All right, we do apologize for that. It looks like there's a network connection on Ms. Maupi's side, but all the questions relating to student funding and NSFAS will be forwarded to her, and she will respond to some of the questions that were posed by the students. So, students, I hope that we have been able to find the link that has been posted for evaluation. I see some were saying that they're not able to see the link. The link has been posted a couple of times. Please ensure that you complete the link. It's going to help us to improve our services going on. Next on our guest list, we have Ms. Ziyanda Febana from FYE, short for first year experience. So she's going to come up next. Ms. Ziyanda, if you are here, you can just go ahead, ma'am.
Ms. Febana, if you could just unmute your mic.
Sorry. Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, good morning and thank you for your time. I would like to say congratulations to the students of 2021. Today I will be speaking to you about the UNISA first year experience, which is part of the student retention unit. I'll be speaking about the roles and services of the student retention unit. The first year experience is that we as UNISA understand that it could be overwhelming transitioning into an ODL institution, and therefore we have first year programs which are aimed to provide extended support for students entering UNISA for the first time. This we do by providing essential information during the crucial points in the study journey. So we have the following programs. We have the FYE website, the FYE mailbox, the FYE broadcast, the FYE MOOC, and FYE emails. In our FYE website, this website was created to bridge a gap between students and academic and support staff by providing the following information. If you go to our website, which is www.unisa.ac.za/FYE, you'll find the online student orientation. The online student orientation is there to help you familiarize yourself with what it means to become a student at UNISA for the first time. It will help you prepare for your studies, it will help you plan better, and it will also help you to know what is expected from you as a UNISA student. In there, you also find the support services available to all UNISA students. This would include first year experience related information on all the various services provided to first time entering students. And also our website is updated on a regular basis. We also have the FYE mailbox, which is where you can write us an email at fye@unisa.ac.za. The FYE mailbox serves as the bridge between students and academic and support staff. This is the process. Students will send a variety of queries regarding various matters. This can be from supplementary exams to handing in of assignments. We as the SRU will receive the queries and then we'll contact the relevant colleges, the relevant lecturers and the relevant departments so that they could attend to your query. Our mailbox has a 48-hour period turnaround time, but we please ask students that when you do write an email to us, please be specific, include your student number, the qualification that you registered for, and most importantly, your contact details, so that we are able to respond accurately to all your queries. We also have the FYE broadcast. The SRU hosts regular broadcasts on various fields related to your first year of study. The broadcast topics would include time management skills, learning how to navigate the myUnisa platform, library services, how do you prepare for assignments and exams, and also how to access e-tutors and many more. We invite staff members from the academic departments and also from support departments to share this information with you, which is then uploaded as a broadcast and accessible to all students. We also have the FYE MOOC. I'm sure many of you, especially with the first time entering students, before you had to accept your offer, you're required to complete the MOOC. And some of you maybe would not understand what the MOOC is. The MOOC serves to prepare and orientate yourself and familiarize students with the UNISA environment. And therefore, you've got the different MOOCs. We have the MOOC 101, which was completed before you accept the offer. We also have 102, which we urge students to also complete because it educates you on how to use myUnisa. You will also have the library orientation there and also how to access student affairs services such as the SRC. In the FYE MOOC 103, we have digital literacy skills, numeracy skills, study skills, and most importantly, academic literacy skills. So we urge students to please participate in this MOOC because it does help them severely when it comes to success in their UNISA studies. As the FYE team, we also send out emails to students with relevant information at every point of their studies. These emails were sent to students at different intervals. The topics would cover would be how to prepare for your assignment, how to prepare for your exams, and what student support services are available to students. Please make sure to claim your MyLife email address to receive these FYE emails. These emails are sent to your MyLife email address from which you will get after registration. Thank you very much.
Thank you for that lovely presentation, Ms. Febana. It's always great to have you as one of our speakers. Now, due to technical issues, we just, in a couple of minutes back, we lost Ms. Maupi from Finance. So we're busy with questions with her, but we're gonna start with your questions. Any questions from for FYE? Gloria, are you seeing anything for FYE?
No, on my side, I'm not seeing anything for FYE. We seem to be having quite a lot of questions for student funding.
Yes.
I think I'd have to get Ms. Maupi back just to answer 2 or 3 questions before we can move on.
Okay. I'll ask you to please pose them to her, ne?
Okay.
Thanks, Chloe.
Ms. Maupi, welcome back. Can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you guys. Sorry, I got disconnected there.
Yes, I don't know if you would like me to go back to the first question of the student from VUT. That was, I'm just trying to go back to the question.
Okay, I think I remember the question, Gloria. I think I can just continue and answer. I think I do remember. For VUT switching over to UNISA, if the student was funded in 2020 from VUT side, when they come to UNISA, all the university, the UNISA, what they will do, they will just send a confirmation to say we've got X student who's moving from VUT coming to UNISA. We'll send the registration data. Then NEFSAS in turn will have to do the linking so that they can link the registration data from UNISA to the student to say that the student is no longer at VUT. And then from there, all the process to unfold will allocate the student with the allowances and the payments from NEFSAS will continue. The problem with the switching student that you normally have, firstly, if ever we don't, once you move from VUT to UNISA, for example, your 2021 should be updated on the system of NEFSAS, meaning VUT should have sent all the necessary data that they need for you to be able to open up the following year. Normally, that's what the problem that we've got. We found that when you check the 2021, NEFSAS is still awaiting documents from the previous institution. So automatically the 2021, nothing will happen until such time the previous institution sent whatever is required. The moment if the student has got a gap year not being funded by NEFSAS, either on VUT side or UNISA side or any institution, that student should reapply for NEFSAS. Secondly, as well, please note, even if you change institutions, the moment you are doing a second undergraduate qualification, that is not funded by the institution. Another thing, if ever you didn't perform well, for example, at VUT, and then you decide to change the institution, please note the very same performance that you did the previous year at VUT. That is what the results that the NEFSAS that you look at as well. I don't know if I've covered the question.
Thank you, Ms. Maupi. I'm sure they have heard you loud and clear. And another question here also regarding student funding, it says, hi, what about funding of foreign students? Is there something for them or?
Unfortunately, undergraduate funding we don't have for the foreign students, but for postgraduate, they do cater for them. For masters and the PhD, the budget that UNISA allocated is both for South African students as well as the international students. But currently for undergraduate, unfortunately, we don't have.
Okay, thank you. I'm sure we're going to take a couple of questions here. We're still within our time. Another question, because we do get a lot of questions from students about NSFAS. There's just so many things that are not going right. So another question that is here, it says, if we did a higher certificate last year and are currently a first year for a degree program, can I still not apply for the merit bursary?
The student can, because remember, at least we've got results that the student wrote exams in UNISA, so we can automatically go back and check for those results, and then they will be assessed on those results. But the 75% should be there, the average of 75%, they are going to look at it.
Okay, thank you. Another question says, If I paid for my registration and later get funding from NSFAS, will I be refunded?
The answer is yes. But what I want to bring the following information forth is the refunds normally happened very, very, very late in the year. Like, for example, now we are finalizing the 2020 refunds. Reason being, we have to wait for the monies that are coming through from NEFSA so that we can be able to refund those students. And then normally you find that NEFSAs, when they pay the university in bits and pieces. They don't pay us fully for all the students at a go. So normally we'll just wait for those payments to come through. Then once you receive student payment for student A and B, we'll do the refunds and so forth until such time that we complete all the students that needs to be refunded. But the answer is yes, but not immediately as in now after I've been approved.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Maupi. I think that will be all for NSFAS for now. If there's any other questions, maybe you can just address them on the chat box, on the Q&A chat box. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Mr. May, you can take over, sir.
Thank you, colleague. And thank you, Ms. Maupi Penyenye, for answering all those questions, because we really did have a lot for student funding. Colleagues and students, we were supposed to have an SRC representative available to educate our new students as to what they do and how they can help them. But now we struggle to get hold of a representative because I believe that it's public knowledge that student leaders are currently having their own challenges. So unfortunately, we'll have to close the program because they were supposed to be our last speakers. I'm gonna ask our head of counseling, Dr. Pitsoane, to come through and give a vote of thanks and closing remarks. That is if there aren't any more questions that need to be answered. Can you see anything from your side, Gloria?
There's quite a lot of questions coming through, but our moderators and our colleagues are currently responding to the questions. So I think, yes, I think we can go to our next speaker now.
Okay. Dr. Pitsoane?
Good afternoon. It's still not afternoon, it's still morning. I hear an echo. Can you hear me?
Yes, but we can hear you, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, thank you very much, the program director, for directing the program so efficiently, so well. We really appreciate your effort in making this possible. To our beloved students, this is quite a journey, and we thank you for having joined us today. This is a journey of 1,000 miles, and of course, it begins with the first step. You have chosen to register at an open distance university where you will be mainly studying on your own. However, remember that in every journey, there will be challenges. These challenges will strengthen you. Please embrace them and never give up, because you will make it if you do. For we are able to encourage and support you in your journey. Hence, all the support services today that we share with you. The support services that have been shared with you, I would like to thank them individually. The head of our DD, the director, the deputy director, Ms. Erin Naude, who welcomed you into your journey as a first-year student for 2021, wishing you the success. We thank her for having been available to share the UNISA, especially the Gauteng region, all the services of Gauteng region with us. I'm sorry about that. And we had a representation from registration and administration, Ms. Daneel Ludick. We thank you, Daneel, for having shared this valuable information with us on how to register and all the requirements that students would need in order to successfully register as the students. And what I noted is that every time when you communicate with us, UNISA staff, make sure that you use my live account so that your queries should be attended to. Students, please note that. And she was followed by Ms. Tefo from the Technology Enhanced Learning, the TEL, who also emphasized the issue of my live account. As the computer labs, they are there to assist you to register for your live account, your My Life account, and make sure that you do that. And also be aware of the trainings that they offer so that you can be able to maneuver your studies, upload your assignments online. They are there to actually assist you. And thank you again, Mr. Molapise. You shared the information to students on how to make their learning easier, how to maneuver through their studies, and that they can be able to do if they can use the library services efficiently. The library services are accessible to each and every one of our registered students. And counseling, as the counseling services, we are there to guide you, to offer you support as you will be experiencing challenges emotionally, especially during this period of COVID-19. There are lots of anxieties that people are grappling with as students. So we are there to take you through so that you'll be able to adjust and study through UNISA. And Mr. Modibedi from Tutorials and Academic Literacy, he shared his expert knowledge on steps on how to identify, how to register for tutorial classes for specifically identified modules that are rare, that needs more attention, but those are identified by the university. So he gave us a snippet on what needs to be done there, and also how Acalit assists you, especially with issues on research and language. We thank Mr. Modibedi on that regard. Mr. Matjila, ACSWIT, our own, we thank you for having shared your information on accommodating students living with disability. Students we really ask you to use the services. You have got more benefits that you can use as a student living with disability. You are not alone. We are here for you as UNISA. And Mr. Penye from Student Funding, we are really thankful that you were able to come on board. As you can see that there are lots of questions that are coming from our students. We really are thankful that you are here to attend to those questions, and we hope that you will definitely respond to the students efficiently so that their queries and their concerns can be addressed. And lastly, Student Retention Unit, Ms. Febana, we thank you for having shared the information with students on how to navigate through their studies and how you as the unit, you'll be able to support them adequately as first year students. We really appreciate your support, all the units that have been mentioned above. We hope going forward, we will be able to work together as a unit in order to support our students, for them to be able to successfully complete their studies. And the program directors, as I have mentioned, you are so special. Thank you so much for having steered this wheel so efficiently. And not forgetting those people who are working behind the scenes. We don't forget you. You did a wonderful job. Diksha Komotso, Ms. Kaswane, and the others that I may have not mentioned their name. Of course, Ms. Mabua, I would have done an injustice if I haven't mentioned your name, because you have been working tirelessly with the support staff to ensure that this orientation happens despite all the challenges that we have been facing. You made it possible. We really are thankful to your leadership and your support as always. And lastly, I would like to thank everyone, our dear students, our attendees, our presenters, everyone for having shared your expert knowledge today. And going forward, we hope that we will continue to work together as one. And I heartily thank you all. Have a good day. Thank you.